Go.
Hi, my name is Christina DiGiulio, and this is Legacy News Network. What? No, stop. That's not right. Thank you. You're such a wonderful audience. Today, we will be covering the legacy of the ancient world. First, we're going to Guillermo reporting from Mesopotamia, where civilizations are starting to develop. To you, Guillermo.
I'm reporting from Mesopotamia, which is one of the most important ancient civilizations. Because so many other areas were dry, the fact that Mesopotamia was born near a river allowed the people to cultivate crops and become a more powerful city. The rivers also provided protection as well as trade routes. In 1792 BC, a new empire ruled by a man named Hammurabi had come to power. Hammurabi was not just a great warrior. He built temples, defensive walls, and irrigation canals. He also created the Code of Hammurabi. Penalties for criminal offenses were severe and took no account of accidental circumstances. Society in Mesopotamia was patriarchal. That is, it was dominated by men. Mesopotamia collapsed in 539 BC after it was conquered by the Achaemenid Empire. Egypt is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, and like Mesopotamia, developed near a river, the Nile. This river helped farming and agriculture in Egypt. Egyptian monarchs had many titles, but the most common were the pharaohs. By obeying their divine pharaoh, Egyptians believed they were helping to maintain a prosperous society. This civilization collapsed in 1085 BC. Around 3000 BC, the Indus civilization was created in the fertile Indus River. Over centuries, a caste system of social and religious discrimination evolved in India. A caste system was based on occupation and extended family networks. India was home to two world religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. The first Chinese civilization came about during the Shang dynasty, which ruled from about 1750 BC to 1045 BC. Chinese civilization is closely tied to Confucius, a philosopher who lived in the 6th century BC. Confucius traveled the length of China, observing society and seeking employment as a political counselor. He believed people were naturally good. I'm reporting from India, and I'm interviewing one of the most influential people in the whole world. His name is Buddha. Buddha, can you tell us a little about yourself, please?
Yes, well actually my real name isn't Buddha, it's Siddhartha Gautama. I was born in India around 563 BC, and in my lifetime I gained thousands of devoted followers. People would come to me and ask, was I a god, was I an angel, or was I a saint? And to all those I said no, so they all became confused. They finally asked me, what was I? Well, I replied, I was awake.
Thank you, Buddha, for those inspiring words. Back to you, Christina.
Wow, that was great. Thanks, Guillermo. I really hope things are working out well over there. Next, we have Ryan reporting from Athens, Greece. Wow, isn't that just great? Where some major government change is taking place. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Christina. We are live in Athens in the year 461 BCE. Let me tell you a little bit of backstory before we get into the news report. A few years back, there was an economic problem whereas Athenian farmers couldn't pay their debts back to the aristocratic landowners at the time, leading them to slavery, since they couldn't pay their debts. Unfortunately, when you are put in slavery, you can't serve in the public office, which most people wanted to do at the time. And either way, if they did serve public office, they couldn't even pay for themselves and get any food. Much was laid to waste, as Athens was on the verge of a civil war. Many attempts to reform Athens' weak system were attempted, such as Solon's freeing of the Athenian farmers and canceling of the debts, except they didn't solve the one problem that they always wanted to do, serve in public office. They still couldn't feed themselves since they didn't have any money, and they looked toward more things like Cleisthenes' Council of 500, where many people were able to serve, but they still wanted more. I'm outside the meeting place of the Athenian Democrats as a man named Cleisthenes revolutionized the idea of serving public office. he began to pay salaries to the people who wanted to serve so that they allowed to maintain their position while not being farmers, but maintaining their food, and they can stay there longer. Under Pericles, Athens became one of the most leading centers of Greek cultures of their time, and hopefully this can lead to the birth of many philosophical debates and many philosophers.
Thank you, Ryan. That was great. I really hope that things are continuing to work out well over there. And there are so many inspiring people from Greece, like Pericles, Socrates, Aristotle, Plato. And one thing that Aristotle said that I thought I'd quote tonight is, a life guided by intelligence is one of the best and most pleasant for man, and as much intelligence above all else is man. And it's just so inspiring. So next, we're going to move to the beautiful land of Rome. My family's from Rome, so it holds a special place in my heart, where Michelle is going to be reporting about the Roman government. Let's hear it.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, I'm live here in the Roman Colosseum reporting to you about Rome's current government issues. Breaking news! Wait, what? Oh wow! Just in, Augustus has won the civil wars and is starting to form his empire. Here's a chart of how the government will be after this. Here's another one of the responsibilities of each group. And lastly, a chart of the hierarchy in Rome. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you, and I'll keep you guys updated.
Thank you, Michelle. It sounds like things are really starting to pick up over there for the Roman citizens. And finally, we're going to Amzi reporting from Nazareth. Wow, that's a mouthful. Where the development of Christianity is taking place. Thanks, Amzi.
Thank you, Christina, for introducing me. Hello, I'm Amzi. I'm going to be to report on the development of Christianity. In the early Roman Empire, a new Jewish prophet named Yeshua, later known as Jesus, began preaching in Judea and Galilee. His preaching gathered many followers, and he was eventually seen as a possible leader of a revolt against Rome. He was captured by the Roman authorities and crucified. Here's a clip. The followers of this prophet deified him and claimed that he rose from the dead. They built a new religion around him called Christianity. The adherents, called Christians, refused to take part in the religious ceremonies of the Roman Empire. Roman authorities called this treason and began mass executions and persecution of Christians. As persecution diminished, the religion appealed to many new Romans. They liked its personal God as well as its adoption of pagan elements, making it more familiar to potential converts. Christianity also had its appeal in its emphasis on community and love for your neighbor. Eventually, Christians organized in the Roman Catholic Church, a religious institution that claimed to show the true way to salvation. As their religious fever grew, they began crusades on non-Christian communities, using force to convert pagans. This would continue for generations until almost every European adhered to the Christian faith. Back to you, Christina.
Thank you so much, Amzi. That was a fabulous report and very well done, I must say. A little sad for us, but in the end, I think, it all worked out for the best. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Legacy News Network, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us, and from our network to yours, have a wonderful night.